offices make their pitch to postal workers. Plus, the COVID-19 pandemic has not slowed things down at the Lewis and Clark Humane Society, how they are helping animals in need.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 6.
Good evening, welcome to the News at 6. I'm Marian Davidson, thanks for joining us. And sad news out of Washington tonight, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is dead. She died at age 87, reportedly of complications from cancer. This is a developing story. Stay with us because we'll have more about that tonight at 10. U.S. Senator Steve Daines and Governor Steve Bullock spoke to a gathering of U.S. Postal Service letter carriers today, and both candidates said they are very much in support of sustaining the Postal Service and helping it get out of its financial straits. Daines pointed to his co-sponsorship of a bill that he said would ease unreasonable requirements that the Postal Service pre-fund employee health benefits. He also said he wants to forgive a $10 billion loan to the Postal Service made earlier this year and work on more aid to get Postal Service through the coronavirus pandemic. Bullock pointed to the lawsuit he filed 10 days ago to force the Postal Service to reverse actions taken in recent months that he said are delaying service. He said the lawsuit is fighting back against what he called attacks on public servants and on institutions like labor unions by big money interests.
There's a reason why union membership's half of what it was in the 1980s. It's not because everybody's now doing great and there's no reason to organize and collectively bargain. It's been outside dollars and outside forces that have been trying to attack those very institutions.
And let me just be clear too, I do not support privatization. I don't. That is, we have private options out there. You've got FedEx, you've got UPS. There's private options available. We must keep the United States Postal Service, in my opinion, the way it is.
The Letter Carriers Union in Montana has about 550 members. Now let's get on into first weather with Andy Curtis, who's filling in at the weather desk.
Yes, I am, and unfortunately, not a lot of good news to tell you, at least as far as that smoke goes across the state. Air quality is improving just a little bit in some areas. Great Falls, Helena, a bit of an improvement from yesterday. We're now under unhealthy for sensitive groups instead of just plain unhealthy like the west side of the state. And that smoke's going to be sticking around at least through tomorrow, even with, yes, that is a rain in the forecast. And it's just in the nick of time. A lot of rain is going to be hitting some of the fires in our neck of the woods and hitting out to the west where those fires are a real big problem. And we're seeing a lot of that smoke drift into our part of the state. So that rain's going to come in tomorrow. Temperature is going to be cooler in the 60s. But that smoke situation isn't going to really clear up until Sunday. So smoke is sticking around even with the rain later tonight and into tomorrow. Sunday, things should be starting to clear up and that sun will come out. I'll tell you more about the weekend's forecast coming up in our full forecast.
Thanks for that, Andy. And if you do want to brave that rain and maybe that smoke, be careful out there. Helena Parks and Recreation reported a bear sighting on Helena open lands this afternoon. According to a Facebook post from the city, a black bear was spotted wandering on the west side of Mount Helena in this area in the map right there. It is bear season and they are out and about looking for food, so stay aware when you're out recreating this time of year. Keep your distance from bears, carry bear spray, and report bear encounters to Fish, Wildlife and Parks. Just as we reached a record-setting day of new COVID-19 cases yesterday, we surpassed that record today with 244 new coronavirus cases. Also, the state added 6 more COVID-19 related deaths, bringing the total in Montana to 150. 3 deaths occurred in Rosebud County and 3 in Flathead County. Total number of cases in the state of Montana could surpass 10,000 this weekend, with just over 2,200 of those being active. Jefferson High School in Boulder reported their first case of COVID-19. According to Superintendent Tim Norbeck, Jefferson County Public Health notified the school that a student had tested positive on Sunday. Jefferson High School switched to remote learning on Monday to give nurses time for contact tracing. Close contacts with the students are now in quarantine. Norbeck said they clean the school every Friday and clean the school once more on Monday before students returned to in-person classes on Tuesday. School officials say they followed all safety guidelines set by the county and the governor's office to bring students back into the classroom on Tuesday. As of this morning, Jefferson County has 8 active cases of COVID-19 and 44 individuals are noted as recovered. The original Montana Club in downtown Helena announced they will be temporarily closing starting on Friday. They admitted the pandemic has created ongoing economic challenges in a press release. The club said they've been impacted by capacity limits set by health directives that aim to prevent the spread of COVID-19. The Montana Club plans to reopen near the holidays. They're selling shares to prepare for the holiday season. The Helena restaurant is not affiliated with the small chain of restaurants that go by the same name. Montana's unemployment rate dropped to 5.6% in August. That's according to a press release from Governor Steve Bullock. Montana's unemployment rate is still well below the national rate of 8.4% for August. Montana has the 7th lowest unemployment rate in the nation. August total unemployment levels were 713 jobs higher than July. Bullock said, quote, "Montana continues to outperform the national economy in our economic recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic." Well, small businesses worry the outcome of the election could determine their success or failure. A new survey of 500 small business owners showed 10% believe they will have to shut their doors for good if their candidate doesn't win. 95% plan to vote in the November election, which includes 11% who say they will vote for the first time as a small business owner. The same poll showed a sense of optimism among small business owners because 74% say they believe they will survive the pandemic. And this Sunday, Montana residents will learn more about the 2 candidates vying for the Attorney General seat. MTN chief political reporter Mike Dennison interviewed Democrat Ralph Graybill and Republican Austin Knudsen over Zoom earlier this month. The 2 candidates are both practicing lawyers with experience ranging from arguing in the Montana Supreme Court to serving as House Speaker. Graybill lives in Helena and is the chief legal counsel for Governor Steve Bullock. Knudsen resides in Culbertson, where he serves as Roosevelt County Attorney. During the half-hour debate, the 2 shared their stances on issues including Department of Justice budget reallocation, Montana's methamphetamine problem, healthcare, public lands, and even voter registration. It was also a chance for the candidates to ask each other questions they believed deserved answers.
Austin, you have closed access to a veterans park in your hometown of Culbertson, and you're now suing that same group of veterans to block their access. In sworn court statements, those vets said that in 2016, when you were Speaker of the House, you verbally accosted them. Is that true, or are these vets liars?
Ray, if your entire experience in Montana is acting as Governor Bullock's chief legal counsel, we now know that one of Governor Bullock's former chief advisors was involved in fairly serious sexual harassment allegations, and that has gone on to other positions that he's been moved on to. Did you advise Governor Bullock to cover up the story of the sexual harassment allegations against one of his top staffers? And are you covering up any other allegations that we're going to learn about down the road?
You can watch the debate for Attorney General between Republican Austin Knudsen and Democrat Ralph Graybill during Face the State. Join MTN chief political reporter Mike Dennison Sunday morning at 8 a.m. or watch now with the KTVH streaming app for Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, and Android TV. To get set up, just grab the remote and turn on your Roku. Go to the left-hand side of your screen and hit search. Then type in KTVH, select Add Channel, and you're all set. Now, what if you don't have Roku? Well, we've got you covered with apps for Fire TV, Android TV, and Apple TV. You'll find instructions for all of those apps on our website. And for more detailed instructions on downloading and installing the app, head to ktvh.com/streaming. And still ahead on the news at 6, how Montanans honored service members for the 41st National POW MIA Recognition Day. Coming up.
Hi, my name is Jessica, and I'm an anchor for KTVH News. These are my boys, Harvey and Fletcher. We have been reading together since the boys were just babies. That's why this year we donated to the Scripps Howard Foundation Give a Child a Book campaign. If you would like to help and donate as well, you can head to our website to find out how your donation helps children right here in Helena.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the News at 6. Montanans gathered at Memorial Park in Helena to honor service members who have been listed as prisoners of war or missing in action. Today represented the 41st National POW MIA Recognition Day. 53 Montana soldiers, airmen, and sailors have been designated as a POW or MIA since World War II. Their names were each read aloud at the ceremony so their service and sacrifice would not be forgotten. There have been increased efforts to locate and return the remains of individuals listed as POW or MIA in recent decades, but according to the Department of Defense, almost 82,000 Americans are still missing.
Each day we think of the fallen comrades that we had. It does bring tears to our eyes. And we just hope that they are upstairs guarding the gates.
Speakers at today's ceremony said they hope more resources will go to locating the remains and help the thousands of American families that still don't have closure. Now let's head over to Andy Curtis with what we've got coming up in weather.
Well, the weather out there is the same as it was yesterday as far as air quality goes. Still not great across the state, worse as you go west, but there is some relief in the forecast. I'll tell you about that coming up next. Welcome back, everybody. Andy Curtis filling in for Curtis Grevenitz tonight, taking you into the weekend. Still a lot of smoke across the state, especially in the capital city right now. Temperature, though, feeling pretty good. 74 degrees currently. Tomorrow, that's going to dip down a little bit. Wind's not looking too bad either. Relatively calm, 3 miles per hour at the moment. Up in Great Falls, 74 as well, and very calm for the Great Falls area. Only 7 miles per hour, so enjoy that while you can. Temperatures across the state, not too different. We're in the 70s for the most part. You can see Miles City was 80 earlier today. It was still 78, so dropping down just a little bit. And there's a reason for that. We've got some more weather on the way, and I'll tell you about that just coming up. But first, what's the probably most important part of the forecast right now is that we have an air quality warning. I know, surprise, surprise, but it's continuing even with some rain in the forecast. Now that's going to be in effect until tomorrow late morning. 11 o'clock is when they will reevaluate that and see if that rain coming through the area is enough to really break up and filter out that rain. But as of right now, that poor air quality, that air quality warning will be sticking around and staying in effect all through tonight and to tomorrow afternoon, late morning, early afternoon. And then also, on top of that, if you're down to the southwestern part of the state, you have to be careful. We've got another fire weather warning, a red flag warning. You know, Butte area, Dillon, Wisdom, you can see for yourself down there. If you're out hunting or camping or anything this weekend, I know the rain's going to be moving through, but still, please, always be vigilant, be careful. Don't intentionally or unintentionally start any fires that you leave unintended or any sparks. It's probably a good idea just to leave fires alone, at least for a little while. Right now, nothing on the radar, fairly calm day. And here's a look at that smoke. Not a lot of it coming from in the state. A lot of it, like Curtis has been telling you all week long, coming from the west coast there, Washington, Portland, Oregon, and that area, down in California blowing in. But with that rain coming in late tonight and through tomorrow, by Sunday we should be looking pretty good, at least compared to this past week with our air quality. I don't know exactly what it's going to be just yet, but it should be looking at least moderate air quality, which is great for a lot of us. Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. Sunday's actually looking like it's turning out to be a pretty good day. Some good sunshine, good temperatures. Monday, that good weather should be sticking around. Smoke's still an issue, but shouldn't be as bad as what we're seeing right now. And it comes and goes, and as we get towards the back half of next week, it looks like that smoke will start to ramp up a little bit. But we do have more rain in the forecast next Friday as of right now. Of course, things could change. So here's that rain I'm talking about. Tonight, late tonight, and tomorrow morning, we can see a good soaker moving through at least the western portion of the state. It'll start to break up as it moves west, but pretty much all day tomorrow, we'll be seeing some rain. Sunday, things will be looking good and dry and warm, and that's why that air quality is going to be good. Monday, things will continue to look pretty good as far as dry weather goes. Tuesday, a little bit of rain moving in, spotty showers into Wednesday. Nothing really too much right now as we're seeing. But we can expect more rain and maybe some thunderstorms moving through as we get into the latter half of next week, Thursday and Friday. So enjoy the good air and the good weather and the dry weather when you can. I'm thinking Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So a quick look at the 7-day forecast for the Great Falls area. It's going to be a little cooler this weekend, but that's not a bad thing. Some rain moving in tomorrow. Temperatures back up into the mid and high 70s as we start the work week. Things should dry out. And in the Helena area, that rain, like you just saw, going to be coming in and pretty much settling over our area all day Saturday, but Sunday's not looking too bad.
Coming up, one thing the COVID-19 pandemic has not changed: how many animals need homes. We check in with the Lewis and Clark Humane Society when we return.
Montana's news leader. You're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the News at 6. Well, it may seem like the world has slowed down, but that is not the case at the Lewis and Clark Humane Society. MTN's John Riley checked in with the shelter and how they're weathering the pandemic.
While the pandemic has put a halt to a lot of aspects of our daily lives, the number of homeless animals in Lewis and Clark County looks the same as any year.
Things have been really hard during COVID and especially stressful. I think, we're feeling it just like everybody in the community is feeling it, the uncertainty. But the one thing that's remained certain is that these animals need our help.
Fundraising efforts for all nonprofits have been greatly impacted by COVID, with the Humane Society having to push off their big event Spaghetti for half a year. While the Humane Society did receive a $10,000 grant from the state, it doesn't compare to the donations they would have received otherwise. The shelter has also seen a number of animals needing costly medical care, including a kitten named Tortuga that needed an eye removed due to infection. The Humane Society will be holding a digital fundraising event called Stay-Getty from September 22nd through the 25th. But they honestly don't know what the turnout will be, and the pandemic has been an economic hardship for many.
It's definitely provided some concerns for the Humane Society. That funding is crucial to what we do every day here, and not being able to do it the way we're accustomed to leaves a lot of things unknown, and it's scary.
Yet even with the financial uncertainty, it's become clear there will continue to be plenty of animals that need their help.
So far this year, the Lewis and Clark Humane Society has seen hundreds of animals just like April here who are in need of a good home, even if it's just a foster home. Reporting in Helena, John Riley, MTN News.
More information about the Lewis and Clark Humane Society, including the animals currently up for adoption, can be found on our website. And when we come back, we'll wrap things up here on the News at 6.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the News at 6. Well, if you think the weather here hasn't been great, take a look at this. NASA released a new picture taken by the Hubble telescope of the weather on Jupiter. Hubble shot the image from 406 million miles away late last month, and it shows a wild storm and colorful cloud bands that surround the planet. One of those weather systems circles the planet at, get this, 350 miles per hour. The picture also showed Jupiter's iconic giant red spot, which is getting smaller, but it is still large enough to swallow all of Earth.
Yeah, so we don't have it that bad here. That's great, especially over the next couple of days. Temperatures are going to get a little cooler, which is very nice and preferred for many of us here. We got some rain moving through the entire western part of the state tomorrow. Sunday should be looking good, and we should be looking dry Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday around the capital city area up in Great Falls. Good chance of rain pretty much all day tomorrow, but Sunday should be looking pretty nice, a good amount of sun. Air quality should be better, so if you have to do something outside, pick Sunday to try to do it. Have a great weekend.
All right, well, that does it for the News at 6. Be sure to tune in at 10. We'll have highlights from football and all of your latest headlines right here tonight at 10.